Hey guys, today I decided I was going to change the oil on my 3520 cab tractor. Has 1200 hours on it, so it's time to be done. So let's get to it. First thing you got to do is locate the base pan, of course, and the drain plug underneath the tractor. Pull that out, drain the oil into your drain pan. I believe it was 11/16 wrench I used. And the drain plug on the oil pan is located about 12 inches roughly back from the front axle. It's not very hard to find. Anyway, we get most of that out. And then we'll put the drain plug back in and tighten it up, but not too tight. They don't need to be torqued right tight. This is the oil filter, and of course it's on there pretty good. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to get that off. So we'll go get the right tool. And this is the right tool. Oil filter wrench. We get that on there and give that a turn, and that comes right off. Makes it a lot easier when you got the right tool. So we'll spin that off, and it's going to make a little bit of a mess. Make sure you have your drain pan right below the oil filter, because there is going to be some oil come out of the oil filter, as you can see. And we spin that off, and then we get the new oil filter. That's the product number there for this particular tractor. Other tractors would be different, of course. Anyway, it's just a John Deere filter. Pretty simple. And one thing I really like to do is I like to take some fresh oil and put it around the rubber seal on top of the filter. This just prevents the rubber seal from sticking to the metal, and it makes it a lot easier to put on and come off. And then of course to take a rag and wipe the old oil where the filter was. Just clean up the surface and stuff. Just get the worst of it. And then spin the new filter on. And snug it up, but again, it does not have to be torqued right tight. I don't even use the wrench to put them on, just as long as they're fairly hand tight. That's all you need. And now I'll show you where the dipstick is located. Oh yes, I always like to mark how many hours were on the tractor when I changed the oil. So I just mark it on the filter, and that way I know it was 1200 hours. That way I know whenever I go to change it down the road, I'll know how many hours were on it. So when I changed it the first time. And that's the dipstick. That's where it's located. That's to check the oil level. As you can see, there's none in it right now. This is the oil filler plug, I'll call it, or cap. This is where you'd put your oil in the engine. And definitely going to need a funnel in there. Would have been easier if I had taken the loader off to do this, but I've done it before with the loader on. It's not that big a deal. And I always like to add Lucas. This is Lucas Pure Synthetic Oil Stabilizer. It's really good stuff. I can actually hear a difference in the engine when I use this and when I don't use this. And I use it in everything, my cars, trucks, tractors, pretty much anything I have that has an engine in it, I put this in it. And this is me just adding the oil. And you want to keep checking your level on your dipstick as you fill it, because you can look in the book, but when you're adding an additive, I just like to keep checking it as I go along. You don't want it too full, but you want it close to the top mark on the dipstick. So I'm going to check it here now and see where it's at. It should be pretty good. Yeah, so it's right there, just a little tiny bit down from the top mark, so that should be fine. And then we'll just make sure we go ahead and put the oil filler cap back on. And again, this does not have to be super tight. As long as it's on there good and snug. And that's really about it. You're done. The only thing I like to do is after I get it all full, I put the cap back on, I start the tractor and check the oil again after the tractor's been running for a few minutes, because sometimes you need to add a little more. Anyway, that's about it. Thanks for watching.